And Fat Joe, they sent him out to be the crash dummy. So when Fat Joe went out there with that whole hostile take, they let him be the sacrificial lamb. And he made a real bold statement. He jumped out the window and said, hey, you know what? Hip hop was created by blacks and Puerto Ricans 50-50. And then he ran out the room. And everybody's like, what? Then he was doubling down. Yeah, I said it. I said what I said. It's 50-50. And everybody's like, why don't you explain it? What do you mean 50-50? What? Yeah. If y'all ain't from the Bronx, y'all just don't know. And then people from the Bronx started asking questions. Hey, what they talking about? What 50-50? And this was right around the 50th anniversary of hip hop, by the way. The 50th anniversary was coming up, and they were really trying to push a Black and Latino co-creation myth. And that's to minimize us. You just couldn't give us credit to say, hey, these foundational Black Americans created this phenomenal genre and this phenomenal culture. You had to try to crowbar a co-creation myth. That was meant to undermine us, ladies and gentlemen.
What up? This your boy Bezo, and I want to talk about this Fat Joe and FBA, or should I say foundational Black Americans, right? Now recently, if you haven't seen any of the clips of the Fat Joe interview, which now has went viral for the comments Fat Joe have made about black folks, Fat Joe spoke on black folks who consider themselves FBAs, right? And I'm going to just paraphrase on pretty much what he said in the interview. But he pretty much called FBAs broke and racist. Pretty much bunch of miserable black folks, right? Now after Fat Joe, this all stemmed from Fat Joe being debunked months ago over the whole who created hip-hop debate. And in the recent interview, he even took shots at old school hip-hop artist Lord Jamar, calling him trash, the weakest one out of his group and all that. So I don't even want to focus on what's already been debunked. But what caught my attention, right, because you had several people speaking on the situation after this Fat Joe interview that went viral, and I felt like this was a teachable moment, right? You had academics who pretty much, spoke his point of view, him being from Jamaica and all that. He definitely agreed that, black folks was the ones who created hip-hop. But it caught my attention when he pretty much spoke on the blacks in America who pretty much think that, we ain't rocking with immigrants and we consider immigrants the ops and all that. And that we, only rock with ourselves. So I figured this was a teachable moment. Before I break it down, I want you to hear what academics said. And this pretty much, sad to say, is the perception of FBAs, right? Check this out, then we're going to come right back.
You know what's so funny about this FBA movement? You know when they try to box people So here's my thing on FBA. And I'll give my whole thing. Yeah, bro, we're all black people. We should celebrate and be inclusive of black immigrants just like FBA. So FBAs are foundational Black Americans, which means you could trace your lineage back to slavery within the United States, okay? Which means your lineage got brought over here by colonizers damn near, right? Now, obviously, I'm a first generation American, if you don't know. I came over here when I was like 10, right? I was born in Jamaica. Like my whole lineage is in Jamaica. Now I'm a black guy. Like me accomplishing my goals, I'm glad to wave the flag of saying I'm a black man doing this in America. For whatever reason, and I don't know if it's because of like this whole like movement to try to get, what do you call it again? Reparations. There's a movement that has separated black people where it's like, all right, man, all you Negroes who are immigrants or first generation or whatever, y'all ain't really black. Or y'all ain't really like part of this real movement. And I'm like, what movement? They're like foundational Black Americans. Listen, we got to be together, man. I'm Jamaican. I'm very proud to be Jamaican. I never, ever disown the fact that I'm Jamaican, and I understand I really feel foundational Black Americans need a hug. Because, again, I understand it. Immigrants come over here. Y'all have done all the work and built a lot of shit, and we come over here and we are enjoying it. I get that. And we want to salute y'all. And also, like, when it comes to, like, reparations, I understand why it might be like, yo, act. Now, I might be like, act, you rich already, so you don't need it anyway. But it's like, I understand why it might be like, yo, an immigrant from Jamaica at this point shouldn't be included if reparations are given. I actually even understand that. I understand the FBA and that type of wave. But I do believe that, you know, us, whether we're Jamaican immigrants, whether we're African immigrants, shout out to my people from Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Liberia, South Africa, shout out to my people from Sudan, shout out to my people from Egypt, shout out to, like, there's so many great countries that they come over here and they do amazing things. I feel like the FBA kind of like y'all be trying to make it seem like other black people y'all ops. Like, that sounds kind of crazy.
Now, I do kind of find it funny that academics would say and think FBAs would think that about immigrants, right? Considering immigrants as ops and all that. But honestly and respectfully, as a black American, and this is straight up a teachable moment to people who was born in other countries that's black. Respectfully, man, as a black American or FBA or however it go, man, from my perspective, man, we feel the same way, man, straight up. And this ain't even no what it is talking about or any of that, man. We can honestly say we feel the same way, man. You know, we done stumped the grounds, man. And like you just said, man, yeah, blacks, you know, paved the way. You know, so when other immigrants and stuff come into the country, nah, we ain't asking nobody to bow down or nothing. It just be a simple, just like when we see another black man, you know what I'm saying, as a man, as an older man, you know what I'm saying, I greet another black man, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? But when I greet an immigrant from another country, he just keep it pushing. He just look at me like, what are you looking at type? You know what I'm saying? It just be an antisocial energy. It be a, oh, we only sticking together with people from our country. You know what I'm saying? So somewhere along the lines, man, the signals that got crossed. So yeah, man, it do need to be a teachable moment, man, so we can get back on track. I fully agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But the reality as a black man born in America, man, we feel the same way, man. You know, back when Trump, who helped get Trump out of here, man, the blacks was the main ones voicing in the first place, man, for the immigrants when the building the wall first came into discussion. You know what I'm saying? So we always, man, from when we was stumping and paving ways for ourselves, man, we always paved the way for anybody that looked like us, man. So, you know, somewhere along the lines, man, we could say the same thing, man. We feel like we looked at as ops to immigrants. You know what I'm saying? As far as black Americans, we do deserve reparations. Our great-grandparents was made slaves, and when they got out of slavery, they land got took and all that. So yeah, if Indians and everybody else can get reparations, why can't we? Straight up. That's just how I feel. And Fat Joe, blacks, we support your music, man. Who gonna buy your music now? This Bezo, man, I said what I said. Peace.